This is the part they never wanted us to talk about, and the part that no one was prepared for, but in reality, it's almost like we were waiting for it to happen. Because when it comes to the Epstein case, the silence around certain people is louder than the evidence itself. Welcome to Freaked Out with your psychic medium host, Liz. Today, we're going to be doing a deeper dive into Virginia Giuffre. This is the part that everybody has been wanting from me, so we're finally going to dive in. I am a little scared to share this information, but also it needs to be said. So let's get into it. Now, before we get into her marriage, her accident, the decline, and her death, we're going to set the stage of all the little things she did not share with us. Because the truth is, you can't really understand Virginia, aka Jenna, without understanding the power, the secrets, and the pressure surrounding Epstein and Maxwell. And once you hear this, you may never see her in the same light. Not like it's a bad thing, but there's a lot that she did not talk about, but also scared to talk about. There are so many things that we still, to this day, do not know about Epstein or Maxwell. And small little bits are coming out. I think recently something came out about him holding women in cells. Absolutely, that happened. Not just on Epstein Island, but also another island that I believe is in the Mediterranean. I keep seeing that Virginia, although she doesn't talk about it in her book, but I do believe that there were moments where he held her captive. And I believe that she had also been to that Mediterranean island that she has not shared with us for many different reasons. The rumors have been circling about Epstein and Epstein's Island for a long time, even before he died. But there were certain secrets that they had to keep hidden. You know how everyone has like a little black book back in the day where they have all their contacts? He had like a little black Bible. He had at least 6,000 to 8,000 different members from all over the world that he had in this book. This man was not the only person who went forward and created this island. No. This stemmed from his childhood as well. I believe that he was also part of a sex trafficking ring as a child. I believe he was passed around as well. And instead of correcting that behavior, he decided to carry forward and do it to others as well. Now, yes, he would have sex with men, and he did that as blackmail on many occasions with many different names. And I gotta tell you, I would not be surprised if he did that with Bill Clinton and Trump, with whomever. I see that there are celebrities, like current day celebrities, older ones that used to hang out with Brad Pitt, if you know who I'm talking about. But he had everything on everyone. All those people that are now supporting Trump, like, you know, those big celebrity names, including Kid Rock, they all have secrets. And they're basically being obligated because the way Trump has positioned it, this is insane. But Epstein and Trump had a relationship, right? They ended up having a falling out later on. Why? Because Epstein has a lot of dirt on Trump as well. He's got a lot of dirt on Melania. He's got videos of Trump and even Melania. Melania's videos, though, I feel like they've circulated before. I think he just got his hands on a copy. Like, I don't feel like he had any direct connection to it. But I do believe that she and Maxwell performed sexual acts for Trump and Epstein at some point, and also included younger females in it as well. And I feel like they did that a few times for their men. But then as time progressed, they didn't get those invites. But anyways, because of his connection to Epstein, a lot of people are afraid that he has access to all of those details, especially now being president, and especially now since I believe, and I will strongly believe, that he was genuinely the one who put the hit on Epstein. Not only was that a warning, but it also scared all 8,000 to 10,000 of those people that Epstein had dirt on. So they all basically endorsed him because Trump has given the impression that he has all of that. But I got news for you guys. Trump doesn't have access to jack shit. He has his own stuff. He has his own blackmail, but the stuff that Epstein has, he's still trying to get his hands on. He can't even find it. And I hate Epstein and everything Epstein's done, but Epstein is like laughing up there, essentially. He's laughing at Trump because Trump, all of these things are going to come out over the next calendar year, and it's all going to continue to keep pointing at him. Denial is his best friend. People will try to keep it out of the media, but it's going to come out. Anyways, Virginia also didn't realize this, but on her travels, when she went and before she met her husband, I see that she was being followed. I see that somebody went out there taking pictures of her, making sure she's doing what she needs to do. And then when she got involved with Robert, I'm not entirely convinced that Robert wasn't purposely sent there. I keep seeing that it's just very convenient that Robert came into her life all of a sudden, and then Maxwell and Epstein were like, cool, have a nice life, see you later. They wanted to keep tabs on her. So I feel like they were really the ones who sent Robert to not only distract her, marry her, create a family with her. Do I feel like he planned to actually go through with it? No. I feel like he was going to get some money from some random people, and I think that they were intentionally set up. I don't feel like this was a coincidental meeting. I feel like this all happened for a reason, and if they didn't meet that night, they would have met another night. But either way, I keep seeing that there was a payout at some point for him, and then later on too. He didn't expect to like her. He did. He fell in love with her. I will say that. And he thought that by just going forward and doing this little piece of pie of, obtaining her, his life would essentially be free. He would be free. He wouldn't owe anything. He didn't know what he was getting himself involved in. But so be it. That's what happened. Because they weren't getting any money, he didn't think anything else would happen. But Virginia, for many, many years, were receiving letters, texts, emails talking about what she was wearing, who she was with, where she was, pregnancy, so many things. Although she was trying to keep everything on the DL, it didn't happen that way. Now, going back to Epstein, I know we keep talking about these flight logs. Well, I think that the island that I see, like the secret Epstein Island, has all of these additional files, things that aren't necessarily available to anyone. And I believe that the FBI is aware and is currently looking into it. And do I think it's going to be revealed? I do. But I also keep seeing that they're finding one cold trail after another. They'll get put on a wild goose chase. A few years ago, when I did the Epstein episode, I remember talking to you guys about how Epstein did things intentional, even from beyond the grave. He knew that his time was coming. He was informed by his people, by even Trump, do not speak on any of these things or I will come for you. And he was like, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life, bud. Can't get out. I no longer have get out of jail free passes anymore. So he didn't care about losing his life at that point. He did love himself. He didn't want to die, but he had no interest in it. And from what I can see, he was planning to share and sing like a little birdie. And it was set up like somebody important was coming to see him. And he was going to share everything. And Trump couldn't have that. Not just Trump, other leaders too. The guy from Israel, celebrities, a lot of politicians. And he had sex with a lot of men that were closeted. So there's a lot of that too. He would have destroyed a lot of lives, and that's what everyone was afraid of. Now, because Virginia had a lot of access to the same things that Epstein had, she was talking and sharing her story, but she was only referencing the Epstein stuff. She was eventually going to come out with more when she wasn't as scared, but they continued to make her feel scared. I keep seeing that she was sent things in the mail like pictures of her children, pictures of her brother's children, pictures of things that could have been exposed about her, like naked photos, naked videos, like incriminating shit that I don't think would hurt her story, but there will be people that just listen to the bad stuff, you know, because she got a lot of backlash talking about how she took this settlement, this settlement, this settlement. Meanwhile, she was also trying to protect other people. But because she took money, everyone looked at her in a bad light at times. And she was just sick and tired of having all of these bad things coming up about her. Plus those fucking emails, calls, everything, pictures. Like, she was scared for her life. Trump, on a daily basis, had I'd say he has somebody who just goes out there to scare others, including Stormy Daniels, might I add. There are many, many women that he has sent people out to terrorize them, stalk them, scare them, and potentially kill them. We know what happened to Ivana Trump, right? We know what happened to her. She was also going to be singing like a little birdie. A lot of pieces, guys. Now, is there anyone that currently has these details? Yeah, Maxwell does. Maxwell knows a lot, and she also could sing like a little birdie. And I do think she has, to a degree, to certain people, and maybe people that she's actually like rooming with within the prison walls may also be trying to get information out of her. But she knows a hell of a lot more than what she's sharing, and she would rather sit in jail for 25 years than say anything, because she is deathly afraid of herself being killed. I see a conversation between her and Trump, and he basically said, if you stay quiet, we'll let you live. And I think that's what's happening right now. I also feel like he's made a fake agreement with her that he'll get her out or something. There's something in the mix when it comes to Maxwell, but he doesn't want to do it right now. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of months to a year. She's also not loyal to him, but I'm going to be doing a full episode next week on Maxwell. It will be an exclusive episode. Go onto YouTube and do a search and see how you can become a member to listen to the exclusive episodes, because you guys won't want to miss this one either. Now let's go back into talking about Virginia. Now, Virginia married Robert in 2001. They built a 20-year life together. 3 children, a home, a family, a routine. And publicly, he was the man who stood by her side. He was involved in interviews. He was behind her in photos. He was present as her anchor, but he also hated that she was doing this. He was not at all supportive. He told her enough's enough. I don't want you to do this anymore. Even when she wanted to have a child, he tried to use this child as a manipulation tool for her to quit doing this. And I get it. He wanted her to be present for her children. He didn't want to do it anymore. But I also see that that was what he thought that was going to anchor her in away from this. And nothing was going to stop her. And I don't understand why she couldn't have both. Why couldn't she have still had her child, the adopted child, and also be able to do this career? But I think the biggest piece of it and the biggest reason that they didn't go forward was because she was scared that this child would be in danger alongside of her other 3 kids. Now, behind closed doors, he was even more controlling, abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, just abusive in general. And he expected things from her, and he looked at her like she was crazy. So much here. I feel like Robert got too emotionally invested in a lot of it, was jealous about certain aspects of things, didn't want to hear certain parts of it. And it's a hard thing to hear, but I feel like he had a lot of guilt because he didn't realize what he was getting involved in at the very beginning. He didn't realize the kind of man that Epstein was. He was just contacted to distract a female, basically. I also believe when Virginia talked about Epstein and Maxwell wanting to have her baby, wanting her to give them a baby, I feel like Robert was also kind of part of that. Not the baby side of things, but like, I think when she got pregnant, there was like conversation about this baby being given to them. Imagine. I also even feel like at the time her daughter was born, they wanted that child too, and made a lot of threats about taking Ellie. She had a lot of diary entries talking about her relationship with her husband, messages about her husband. Even her final posts on social media told a very different story. There were a lot of moments of isolation where he wouldn't let her go anywhere, and he would use those kids as tools every single time until she had enough. And she told people publicly, I've had enough. I'm not protecting this man anymore, even though he's the father of my children. Now, the timeline about what happened in her home is kind of messed up, incomplete, and kind of concerning. Then came the accident. Now, she said she was hit in a collision involving a school bus. Some sources described kidney failure, swelling, bruising, and hospitalization. Others question how truly severe it was. No full police report was ever released. No witnesses stepped forward talking about it. No timeline breakdown was given. And then the injuries she showed raised even more questions because they didn't look like they were impact wounds. Some looked a lot older. Some look layered. Some look like something happened previously, and I agree. Now, she wrote about her fear, and because she was mentally unwell, he used that to his advantage. She was feeling watched at this point, and I kid you not, I believe that this accident took place to take her out. Again, threats from the Epstein world. And I know a lot of people believe that Epstein's still alive, but he is not. But I do believe that Epstein had a lot of associates, and also there's Trump and Trump associates. Everyone was trying to scare her. And I believe that this accident was intentionally done to kill her, but it didn't happen. She survived some way, somehow. I definitely believe that her husband caused quite a few of those bruises. And in that moment, that's when he decided to basically declare her as crazy, taking everything away from her. She was incredibly defeated at that point. I see that she had no life in her eyes. Those children were everything to her, and he knew that as well, which is why he moved forward to take away her rights to her kids. The kids didn't want it either. They didn't want to be away from their mother, especially Ellie. I see that she was in a very shitty mental place, and obviously now that mom's gone, all of her kids are upset and sad and so fresh. These wounds are so fresh because this just happened in February. But I am being told that she did not kill herself either. Now, was she aware of what was coming? Yes. It's almost the same thing that happened to Epstein. Epstein was marked for death. Something with red blood. It's something within that community. A lot of people get this, even connected to the Illuminati, which is why there's a lot of like crossover here. But right before you die, there's like red paint or something that comes as a sign that you are about to die. And she knew it was coming. Almost as if she made a deal with the devil. I keep seeing that it was, either her family that was going to be killed or her that was going to be killed. And I see that she told them to just take her out. She wanted to do it on her own, but she couldn't do it. And I feel like she died because of somebody else. I believe that she was not someone who committed suicide. She had those mental health issues, which is why it's a lot easier for people to believe that she did, but I don't see that she did. Now, what happened? There's not a whole heck of a lot of information surrounding her suicide, but I believe that somebody made it look like a suicide. I believe that somebody stood there and did things to prepare her for death. She saw this person coming, she knew they were coming, and it's almost like she accepted her fate. She made these people promise that these kids were never going to be touched again, and they made her that promise. But in the back of her mind, she was worried, hey, maybe I can't do this. Maybe they won't leave my children alone. And I hate to say this, but I believe that they will not say things or do things to the kids. But I keep seeing Ellie being a fighter, talking on her mom's behalf, continuing on the work that her mom didn't get to finish. I see a lot of that happening. And that might end up putting the kids back in a dangerous position. But I'm feeling like this empire may shift before then, hopefully. When I talk to her now, she has a lot of regrets about how she went about doing things. And her children are under the impression that she did kill herself, but they do question it quite a bit. Even her husband, I don't believe he was aware that this was going to happen in the manner it did. But he also received a lot of threatening messages to basically isolate her, keep her away from the kids, do what they need to do. Do I think Robert was a bad guy? Yeah. I feel like he received abuse. I feel like he was in a situation, a lifestyle that he believed women belonged in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant. That's what he wanted for her. And she didn't follow into those footsteps. Now, did she die at home or in a medical setting? I feel like it was a home energy. I don't see that it was anything medical. She had a lot of physical health issues after this happened as well, even more so than the one she already had. And I keep seeing her like collapsing. So I'm not sure what that's in relation to either. Virginia just wants people to know that she did not want to stop fighting. This was not her intention. It's what she believed was supposed to happen next. And she was surprised it took them so long to do so. Even this book, it was on the DL for a while, but people got hold of it and word of it, and she had to fight many people on this book. There were certain people she could not talk about. There were so many threats on her life, way too many. I feel like her husband has a lot of regret now. I keep seeing suicidal thoughts for him as well. I think he thought that eventually they would just come back together, she would get her mental health in check, and they would fix it, without him getting himself help. I feel like he didn't look at himself like needing help. I also believe her father and her husband together, both of them, were both predators in different ways, and that's why they didn't clash. I feel like the kids may not ever know the full truth of the story. I feel like the dad really put some bad thoughts in these kids' heads for a while, but I feel like they know who their mother was. And although busy and trying to tell her story and help other survivors, they knew that she was a good person. She wishes she was still here to protect her kids. She wants so badly to come back and just take them away to the moon, anywhere, get them away from all of it. Even now, everyone's still bothering these people, these kids, the family. And she just wants everyone to just leave them alone at this point. And her father. Her father is going to consistently keep trying very hard to insert himself into those kids' lives. And that's another reason she just did not want to die. Her mom, she's glad with the abilities of her mom taking those accountability, and she feels better about it. And her father, she shows me that one day, for money reasons and money reasons only, he will do some sort of video, 60-minute video, paranoia, talking about how he thinks that his daughter was killed for money, of course, but there's no good intentions behind it. He has no proof. He has no logic behind it. He's also one of the first people that hurt her. He's also somebody who literally sold her off to Epstein himself. I don't think he'll ever share those details. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching, and appreciate you for being here. If there are any questions that you have for Virginia, please drop them in the comment section and I will answer them if I have enough of them to go around. But we'll be back for Maxwell next week. And until next time, guys, stay freaked out.